And I think yesterday we had some people pulling the plug so quickly. Not all of you. Not all of you. There's legitimate criticisms and legitimate concerns. But there was some yelling and screaming. I didn't get to the Dan Campbell text about Hollywood Dan and people being disappointed that, Dan Campbell's gone all Hollywood. And there's a reason why Ben Johnson didn't get a job, guys. I'm just like, the other ones that were coming in, I knew this would happen once Goff got his contract. We didn't read all these texts, but it kind of contributed to my overall feeling of why are people so quick to pull the plug when the long term, like I feel like falling back on what we really truly believe, that there is competent people running the organization, that they've got a really good GM. They got a really good head coach. They have a really good offensive coordinator. Like these are things that we felt were established and we're willing, and some people seem willing to pull the plug on that 2 games in without paying attention to the context of what it's like in the NFL. And I do think it's important when you look around at what happened last weekend in the National Football League, some of the remarkable results. Saints 44, Cowboys 19. Vikings 23, 49ers 17. You had Raiders 26, Ravens 23. The Ravens are 0-2. Cardinals 41, Rams 10. Rams are devastated by injuries. Week 1, Patriots over the Bengals. Last night, Atlanta over Philadelphia. Philly at home is a big favorite. But, nope, Goff got paid. Hollywood Dan, reason Ben Johnson didn't get a job. And those are the things that I think frustrate me, and it came through on the air. And I don't think I handled it well, Gator, and I'm admitting it now.
I think it's okay. I think that if people are going to pull the plug after 2 weeks and then cite things like Hollywood Dan or whatever they want to do, I think it's just foolish. And it goes back to what somebody said, I forget which caller it was. It was a brilliant observation. It may have been one of the Pauls. It said people are going to feel the way they feel just to support their own narrative. Mm-hmm. So if they're going to lose and go 1-1 and they're going to and they didn't think that this Lions team was going to be any good, they're going to latch onto it as quickly as they can because it'll just take a matter of weeks before it fizzles. But for right now, they can crow about it and pound their chest and say, "See, I told you," and then they're going to find some other reasons. So Dan Campbell just doesn't care. He's too distracted by other things like doing Applebee's commercials and making sure that he looks good when they go for it on 4th down. Or they got to have that fake punt 2 games into the season, which, of course, those are ridiculous things to be upset by. Those are reasons that Dan Campbell, the commercials, it's not distracting. It's off-season stuff. It's stuff that was done probably well before training camp. But people want to believe what they want to believe. They want to get fired up about stupid stuff, and this is definitely stupid stuff.
Well, look, I mean, I've made the comment that people want their athletes and their coaches to do nothing but work out, practice, go to bed early, and eat healthy.
Right.
Anything else is unacceptable. And that's just not the way it is. There is some time off. I'm going to guess here, Gator, and I'm going to assume this is a good guess, that Dan Campbell taping Applebee's commercials didn't take away from his coaching. It took away from his private time. That's my guess.
I would think you're right. Does Dan Campbell strike you as the kind of guy that would put something ahead of football?
No, not at all. 248-539-9797. Let's get back to your phone calls. We go to Don in Detroit. Hi, Don.
Hey, guys. How are you?
What's up?
I got 2 things I want to say. I'm happy for the Tigers. The only problem is when you do those bullpen days, just like Dan Campbell doing the 4th and 2, 4th and 3, it's going to catch up with you sooner or later. Now, the problem is with the Lions is that nobody was ready for the Lions last year, and they had a pretty easy schedule. but they're ready for him this year, and it's going to be a lot different. And now you're going to see the true coaching of Dan Campbell. Take care. Keep up the good work.
Do you believe
guys.
in it? Do you believe in the coaching, Don?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe in the coaching, but I had doubts when they didn't do what was proper about getting the field goal team on or throwing the ball down and stopping the clock. Somebody didn't do their job.
Yeah, I mean, he said it was him. Yeah,
He was pretty accountable for that.
yeah.
You could put it on the coach. You could put it on Ben Johnson. You could put it on whoever.
Well, the coach put it on himself. Yeah.
Right. Well, I know he took the blame because he's the coach. And that's what most people do when you're the head coach or when you're the head of anything. You take the blame and you roll with it until the next week.
Thank you for the phone call, Don.
Everybody has improved in the NFL.
Well, not everybody.
No.
In fact, I think we could probably make the case that the team they beat in the opener, unfortunately, has not
I don't
improved.
think the Rams have improved.
Brian's in Detroit, and he's next here on 97.1 A Ticket. Hello, Brian.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. The fans are just pretty much disappointed that when we hear for 2 or 3 months leading up to the season that this is a Super Bowl team, then to come out to perform like that. Fans that don't know, they think it's just supposed to go smooth all the way, when not realizing it's just 2 games. But they need to perform better. We gave the quarterback his money. The coaches, him doing commercials is nothing. But now all the glory is going to him, and they come out and perform like this the first 2 games. That's the frustration.
I could see that.
Yeah, frustration's one thing. Do you think this team's going to have a good year?
I think they're going to have a good year, but it's just not going to be as easy.
Wow.
It's just not going to be as easy as people think. Because people the fans in this area went into thinking the tickets sell out quick, everything's going to be great. It's just not going to go that way. They might not even win a division. You just have to wait to the end result and see if they make it. When they get to the playoffs, we need for them to get to the Super Bowl. Not the NFC Championship game, not none of that. We need a Super Bowl. And that's what we need, period.
So it's funny because appreciate it,
Go
Brian. It's good to hear from you. It's funny because last week, late in the week, I said, hey, don't forget, last year the team went 12-5, had a great year, won the division, went to the NFC title game, but lost in week 2 at home to Seattle, and everybody lost their you-know-what. They just lost again in week 2, and everybody's losing their you-know-what again. And the reason I brought it up last week was because, just remember, if they lose on Sunday to Tampa, doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And we got some end-of-world calls yesterday.
Right. Well,